Alright guys, let's talk about the first depressions of the iPhone 16. You know, Apple Intelligence, the one thing that they talk the most about throughout their event.
Apple Intelligence.
Apple Intelligence. Apple Intelligence. Apple Intelligence. Apple Intelligence. Apple Intelligence. Apple Intelligence. Apple Intelligence. Apple Intelligence.
Is the one thing they don't even have yet. That's right, Apple Intelligence is not going to be on the iPhone 16 series when it ships out. It's actually going to come out next month sometime, and that too in English, native English US language, and other languages will roll out next year. You know, Samsung was at least courteous enough to give Galaxy AI on their phones in working conditions as they shipped it out. But anyway, let's talk about things that you will get on the iPhone 16 day one. So, like always, Apple launched 4 variants of the iPhone 16 from the base all the way to the Pro Max. It's pretty much the same pricing as last year, only in the US you get amazing trade-in offers, which in countries like India, you don't get. Thanks, Apple. Look guys, I'll talk about Apple Intelligence in just a bit. Of course, Apple is launching it in just a bit. Good joke?
No!
But it's the camera control button that I find a little too ambitious. And even before I talk about camera control, one thing that really made me cry. iPhones are finally getting the ability to pause while recording a video. I mean, you have no idea how revolutionary it must have been for Apple, but I just don't think they had the heart to say it out loud. But yeah, it's there. Anyway, so this guy talked about camera control button. Hey Piyush. And he says that with this, you can quickly launch the camera, take photos, shoot videos, and even change modes and settings, and that it's coming to all the iPhone 16 phones. Now, first of all, most people take photos like this today. And for me to be able to use the camera control button, I'm going to have to let my grip go right from here to a little below, right? And that makes it really unstable. So why would I do that? And second, the fact that you can juggle through all the settings with the camera control button. Wait, just listen to this, okay, for 10 seconds, please.
Press lightly twice, you can see other controls. Then simply slide to the control you want and press lightly again to select it. Like the depth of field to compose a stunning portrait.
It literally takes me less than 3 seconds to do that on screen today. So, what? But okay, there are other things that you can do with it. You can long press to get into video mode. And when you're switching controls, then the on-screen controls disappear and you can focus more on the framing. And you can use it with very specific third-party apps to, share something. Look guys, this absolutely screams Pro, okay? But the reality is majority of people who are going to be buying the Pro and the Pro Max are not under that Pro category. And they're just going to be taking their phone out, clicking a photo like that, and done. They're not going to be juggling through the thing, right? So, yeah. It may not take off. Okay, next, the action button. So it's coming to all iPhone 16s, including the base and the Plus, which is good. It did not have to be just a Pro feature. And they've added a few functions recently, like Translate and Shazam to recognize songs, and the ability to configure a quick control, like switching to dark mode or opening calculator or things like these. Look guys, this is all really cool, but very honestly, I actually used to use the mute switch quite a lot, and ever since I've had the action button, I've literally stopped using it. True story. Anyway, let's talk about Apple Intelligence now, and let's split this into 2 things. Stuff that we've already seen other brands do with AI on their phones, and stuff that Apple is bringing, which is actually kind of really cool. So let's start with stuff that we've already seen. So first, you can rewrite text in different tones using the writing tools that Apple Intelligence brings. You can clean up in a photo by removing objects or people, and you can scan things to get more details about them. What's funny is that Google has been doing this for God knows how long, but Apple just renamed Google Lens to Visual Intelligence. Okay, but now let's talk about what's unique to Apple Intelligence. And the first one, which I think is really cool, is that it can scan whatever is on your screen and let you take an action, like verbally. So you see a song recommendation by a friend over text, just say play it to Apple Intelligence and it will. Or if you're on Photos app, just say send last Saturday's barbecue parties to Natasha and done. I mean, that is really helpful. The other cool thing is you can search for very specific photos or moments in a video, and the Photos app can hunt it down and share results with you. I mean, Google Photos can do something like that, but it's not as specific as this. And third, in Apple Email, instead of seeing first few lines of the email, you'll now see summaries of those emails. And even the notifications will be summarized. I mean, that is quite neat. But here's the catch. Apple Intelligence is not going to be on the iPhone 16 phones right away when you buy them. It's going to come as a software update beta software update sometime next month, and it's only going to be in English US native language. And then the next inline priority is for these countries. And then in 2025, the plan is to include these languages that you see. So we Indians, a huge market for Apple, can obviously wait for 2 years for Hindi. Good move, Apple. Now, this is all the stuff that is coming to all the iPhone 16s, but then there is some stuff that's unique to the iPhone 16 non-Pro phones and some stuff that's unique to the iPhone 16 Pro phone. So let's go through that quickly. So first, iPhone 16 base and plus, okay? New camera placement, or rather I should say older camera placement, but now lined up vertically instead of diagonally. Newer A18 chips that are 30% faster than A16 Bionic chips in iPhone 15. A 48 megapixel primary camera that can take 12 megapixel, 24 megapixel and full resolution 48 megapixel shots, and can take optical quality 2x telephoto pictures using a 12 megapixel crop. And you get a new 12 megapixel ultra wide lens with autofocus, and it now has the ability to take macro shots, which is also new. Also, Kyan here, a wonderful lady, talked to us about the iPhone 16 having larger batteries.
Powerful workloads like gaming and Apple Intelligence demand great battery life. So we gave iPhone 16 an even bigger battery.
Yeah, that's good news. And lastly, you still get the substandard, ages-old, poor and jittery 60 Hz lose motion display and no always-on display. 80,000 rupee phone, $800 phone, and 60 Hz display. Amazing stuff that Apple can pull. But yeah, other than that, 16 base and plus models are pretty much the same. And now let's jump to 16 Pro and Pro Max. Same design as last time, but one new color, the Desert Titanium, which is a lot like golden. You get a newer A18 Pro chip, which is even faster and more efficient than the A18 chip in the base and the plus model. Like the 15 Pro, the 16 Pro phones will also have grade 5 titanium frame, faster USB 3 speeds, and support things like ProRes video recording, 120Hz Pro motion display, and always-on display. The Pro phones are getting bigger as well. The 16 Pro goes from 6.1 inch to 6.3, and the Pro Max from 6.7 to 6.9 inches. And my 2 cents on this, guys, if you've been a Pro Max user, chances are you want to pre-book that. But I would say, hold on, try and actually hold the phone in your hand and see if it's good enough. Otherwise, you may just be okay with the Pro version. They've also redesigned the internal chassis to ensure much better heat management, and you now get faster wireless charging speeds and better compatibility with the G2 standard. However, no word on whether the wired charging speeds are going to be higher or not, but we'll find that out when I do get the phones on the 20th, right? And yeah, of course, it's going to have the action button and the camera capture button or the camera control button, like I said. But there are something about the Pro phones that have me really excited. Look, they've put in a fresh new 48 megapixel primary lens, a new 48 megapixel ultra wide camera, and now even the Pro phone has the 5x telephoto camera, which was earlier just in the 15 Pro Max. But they've done some software magic that I really want to try out as soon as I get the phones. So first, more advanced photographic styles have been added, giving you more flexibility to set the tone of the photos. You'll also get more creative styles now that are really aesthetic, and you'll have even more flexibility with a control pad that will allow you to adjust tone and color. And I think that was really cool. And finally, the Pro models get 4K 120fps video recording, so you can shoot very intense slow motion footage. I mean, it took them a while, but they finally caught up. Shout out to the Galaxy S24 Ultra. And lastly, they talked about audio mix, which gives creators the ability to identify separate audio sources and mix them in a way that works best for their desired output. I mean, it's absolutely bonkers. It's definitely industry first, but again, it's geared for very small audience of professional video enthusiasts. But the real question, why depression, right? You know, back in the days, an iPhone launch meant something crazy good is gonna come, but that's just not been the case for a couple of years now. Second, iPhone has continuously added some of the other gimmick one over the other every year. So first was Dynamic Island, then Action Button, and now this camera control button. If anything, we were supposed to go buttonless, but we seem to be moving in the opposite direction. Third, Apple is late again. Not only has AI been around on phones for quite some time, they've been late in announcing it, and they're late in shipping it out in languages that people around the globe speak. And you know, a lot of the new crazy features that are there in the Pro phones, well, I guarantee you 99% of the people who buy the Pro and the Pro Max aren't even going to use it or even know that they exist. You know, again, that's what I'm saying. iPhone events were always about setting what's in the future, you know, setting the standard. giving out very useful stuff that people really need. But this, I don't know what's happened. But anyway, should you get the iPhone 16 or the 16 Pro or the Pro Max, or should you stick with the iPhone 15 from last year or the 15 Pro? Well, I'm going to reserve that decision for now. It's just another 10 days, right? I'll get the phones. That's when we'll talk. So you may want to stay subscribed for unfiltered, authentic, critical opinion on that. Anyway, if you did enjoy watching the video, guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification icon, and mark all. Really helps the channel grow. I'll see you guys in the next one.